Imagine living your entire life believing in love, loyalty, and choice, only to discover that, behind closed doors, a contract dictated everything. What if I told you that Janelle Brown, the calm and grounded sister wife, had a legally binding agreement with Kody Brown, an agreement that has just been leaked online? Tonight, we're peeling back the curtain on what fans are calling the most shocking revelation in sister wives history. What was in that secret contract? And why was it hidden for so long? The leak has shaken the fan base to its core. It isn't just gossip. This is paperwork, with signatures, clauses, and rules that could rewrite the narrative we've all believed. Was Janelle truly free in her relationship? Or was she locked into obligations that the cameras never showed? Was Kody protecting his fortune, his reputation, or something far more personal? In the next few minutes, you'll hear every shocking detail, every whispered rumor, and every possible motive. Stay with me, because this story isn't just about a contract, it's about control, power, and secrets that refuse to stay buried. Asterisk, to understand why this leak is explosive, we need to go back. Janelle Brown has always been portrayed as the level-headed wife. She's practical, business-minded, and often the one keeping the family financially afloat. While the other sister wives navigated their emotional highs and lows with Kody, Janelle stood firm, independent, yet loyal. But cracks were forming. Over the years, fans noticed her growing frustration with Kody's shifting priorities. Whether it was the infamous arguments about moving the family, the financial stress of building on Kody Pass, or the accusations of favoritism toward Robyn, Janelle often seemed caught in the middle. Still, no one imagined that behind the scenes, a contract, allegedly signed years ago, might have been dictating her relationship with Kody. And when this document surfaced online, fans began asking, did Janelle ever have a choice? Or was she always bound by rules we never saw? For years, sister wives hinted at financial arrangements. We saw glimpses of joint accounts, loans, and the constant struggle to fund their plural lifestyle. Janelle was often the breadwinner, contributing more than most, while Kody made the major decisions. But here's the chilling part. The leaked contract suggests this wasn't just about family contributions, it was about control. Think about it. The family presented themselves as united. But what if legal paperwork locked one wife into commitments, obligations, or silence? Suddenly, those tense arguments on screen take on a whole new meaning. Were they just disagreements, or signs of someone fighting against an agreement she never truly wanted? Asterisk, it all started with a whisper, a screenshot posted in a small online forum, quickly deleted. But not before fans grabbed it. Within hours, it spread like wildfire across Reddit, TikTok, and sister wives fan groups on Facebook. The words were blurry, the signatures faint, but the implications, absolutely explosive. The document, allegedly dated years ago, carried Janelle's name. Alongside it, Kody Brown's unmistakable signature. At first, people dismissed it as a hoax. After all, the internet is full of fakes. But as clearer scans emerged, showing notarized stamps, dates, and carefully crafted legal language, doubts started to fade. This wasn't fan fiction. This was real. The so-called secret contract wasn't about romance, love, or spiritual unity. It was about power, property, and silence. The leak suggested that Janelle had agreed to terms that went far beyond what viewers saw on TV. Asterisk, though the entire document hasn't been released. Sections of it have been carefully transcribed and shared online. Fans were shocked to see mentions of financial clauses, specific rules about property ownership, division of assets, and even behavioral expectations. One line, in particular, sent chills down readers' spines. It hinted that if Janelle were ever to leave, certain financial penalties or restrictions would apply, essentially making her departure not just emotional, but economically devastating. Suddenly, the question wasn't just, why did Janelle stay so long? But did she even have the option to leave freely? Fan reactions, asterisk, the fanbase erupted within hours. Hashtags like hashtag Janelle contract and hashtag KODY exposed were trending. Twitter was flooded with disbelief, This changes everything I thought I knew about Janelle. No wonder she seemed so tied down. This is heartbreaking. If this contract is real, Kody has been hiding behind legal paperwork all along. Reddit threads exploded, dissecting every blurry line, zooming in on signatures, and speculating how deep this legal arrangement really went. Some fans defended Kody, arguing that contracts are normal in unconventional family structures. But the majority saw it as a smoking gun, proof that Janelle's independence wasn't as complete as it appeared. The reactions weren't just online gossip. Longtime fans of Sister Wives began rewatching old episodes with fresh eyes. Suddenly, every argument between Janelle and Kody looked different. Every time Janelle hesitated, every time she seemed financially cautious, fans wondered, was she following the contract? Facebook fan groups became battlegrounds. Some users demanded TLC address the leak, while others speculated about legal action. Meanwhile, TikTok creators made viral videos breaking down every alleged clause, racking up millions of views. The Sister Wives universe had been shaken before by divorces, separations, and drama. But this was different. This was cold, hard paperwork. Early speculation. Why would Kody need such a contract with Janelle? Fans have a few theories. The most common, money. Janelle has long been portrayed as the most financially savvy of the Sister Wives. She worked steady jobs, managed budgets, and was often the one making practical decisions. If anyone posed a financial risk to Kody, it was her. The wife who might one day decide to walk away with resources and stability. Another theory is reputation. Kody, who often insists he's the one holding the family together, may have wanted to ensure that even if Janelle disagreed with him, she couldn't damage his public image or spill secrets. The contract might have been his insurance policy against internal rebellion. For Janelle, this leak paints a haunting picture. Was she bound by obligations that silenced her voice for years? Did she stay not out of loyalty, but out of fear of what leaving might cost her? And if that's true, does this mean her eventual separation from Kody was even more courageous than fans ever realized? Because if walking away meant risking not just her family, but her financial freedom, then Janelle's quiet strength becomes something much more powerful. The shocking clauses revealed. The leaked scans may not show every page, but the portions fans have dissected are enough to paint a chilling picture. Let's break down what the contract allegedly demanded of Janelle. First, financial obligations. The document makes repeated references to income, property, and family assets. One clause stated that Janelle's earnings, whether from employment, business ventures, or other income streams, would be considered part of a collective pool managed by Kody. In other words, her financial independence was more limited than anyone realized. Another section appeared to address property ownership. While Janelle often spoke about her dreams of building on Coyote Pass, the contract suggested that legal ownership of certain assets would default to Kody in the event of separation. Translation: if Janelle left, she risked losing everything she had invested. Perhaps the most shocking part wasn't money at all, but behavioral clauses. Fans were stunned to see language about maintaining loyalty and avoiding actions that could bring dishonor to the family. This sounds vague until you think about how Sister Wives has unfolded on screen. Every time Janelle questioned Kody, every time she pushed back against his decisions, was she also battling an invisible legal threat hanging over her? One particularly disturbing clause even hinted at restrictions around public statements. If Janelle ever spoke negatively about Kody or the family structure in public, she could face penalties. Suddenly, her measured tone in interviews and careful wording made more sense. Maybe it wasn't just her personality. Maybe it was the contract keeping her restrained. And then, the real bombshell, an exit penalty. According to transcribed excerpts, if Janelle formally separated from Kody under certain conditions, she could be forced to surrender not just financial claims, but also certain shared possessions. Think about what that means. Janelle, the practical wife, the one who built a stable career, could have been locked into a situation where leaving wasn't just emotional heartbreak. It was financial devastation. And yet, as fans know, she eventually did leave. Which begs the question, what changed? Did Janelle find a loophole? Did the contract expire? Or did she finally decide the cost of staying was far greater than the price of walking away? Asterisk. Family Fallout asterisk fans immediately began reanalyzing old family drama. Remember the heated arguments about money on Coyote Pass? Remember how Janelle clashed with Kody about building and investing? Suddenly, those fights looked different. Christine's dramatic exit had been fiery and emotional. But Janelle's departure always seemed quieter, almost methodical. Now, it's possible that Janelle had been calculating her escape within the boundaries of the contract. Every move, every word, carefully chosen to avoid triggering financial ruin. Asterisk. Though none of the sister wives had directly addressed the leaked contract, fans are speculating about how the other wives fit into the puzzle. Mary, who also had a strained relationship with Kody, may never have signed a similar agreement, which could explain her relatively quicker path to independence once her marriage crumbled. Christine, outspoken and fiery, might have refused to be bound in this way. Her boldness in leaving Kody suggests she wasn't tied down legally. And then there's Robyn, Kody's favorite wife. Many fans believe she had no need for a contract, since Kody openly prioritized her. If that's true, it raises disturbing questions. Was Janelle specifically targeted with legal restrictions because she was the strongest financial asset? Was she singled out to keep the family's money under Kody's control? Asterisk. What about the kids? Janelle and Kody share several children, many of whom have spoken openly about the tension in the family. Imagine growing up not knowing that your mother was legally bound by terms she couldn't freely break. One fan theory even suggests that certain family disagreements about moving states or splitting resources might have been influenced by the hidden contract. If true, this wasn't just about Kody and Janelle. It affected the lives of every child caught in the middle. Theories about the leak asterisk. Another mystery surrounds the leak itself. Who had access to this contract? Was it a family insider, tired of the secrets? Was it someone in the legal system who stumbled upon it? Or could it have been leaked deliberately, maybe even by Janelle herself, as a way of reclaiming power over her narrative? The timing is suspicious. The leak appeared just as fans were praising Janelle for her independence post-separation. Could this be her way of saying, "You thought I was just being quiet and calm, but here's what I was really up against"? Asterisk. For Kody, the fallout could be catastrophic. His reputation, already battered by the public's perception of favoritism and failed marriages, now faces a new blow, being seen as someone who controlled his wives not just emotionally, but legally. If the contract proves authentic, Kody isn't just a controversial reality star. He becomes a symbol of manipulation, a man who turned marriage into a business deal. Long-term implications asterisk. For years, Sister Wives has thrived on drama, heartbreak, and the ever-changing dynamics of the Brown family. But with this contract leak, TLC faces a problem they can't ignore. How do you continue selling the story of spiritual unions, family struggles, and personal freedom when evidence suggests one wife may have been legally bound in silence? Viewers are demanding answers. Some want TLC to address the contract directly in upcoming episodes. Others argue that the network must have known something about these agreements. And if they did, does that mean the show we've been watching was never the full truth? Asterisk. The contract has transformed the way fans see Janelle. Once viewed as the practical, quiet strength of the family, she's now seen as a survivor of hidden legal chains. Her calm demeanor in the face of chaos doesn't look passive anymore. It looks like resilience under constraint. And as the story spreads, fans are calling her the real hero of Sister Wives, a woman who managed to keep her dignity, raise her children, and eventually walk away, even when the cost of freedom was steep. Hidden motives and darker theories asterisk. One of the biggest questions remains, why Janelle? Why would Kody, if these leaks are true, single her out with legal paperwork? Fans point to her unique role in the family. She was financially stable, educated, and not afraid to challenge Kody on major decisions. In other words, she was the wife he couldn't easily control with emotion alone. If love and loyalty weren't enough to secure her compliance, a contract might have been his ultimate weapon. Others speculate the contract was all about money. Over the years, fans have criticized the family's constant financial struggles. From failed business ventures to the never-ending Coyote Pass project, money was always at the center of conflict. If Janelle was contributing more than the others, a contract ensured her resources stayed tied to Kody, even if she ever decided to walk away. Some fans even suggest this was less about love and more about locking down the most reliable income stream in the family. But here's the twist. What if the leak itself wasn't accidental? Some fans believe the timing is suspicious. Could Kody himself have leaked portions of the contract as a way of controlling the narrative, painting Janelle as complicit, or shifting blame away from his failures? It's a far-fetched theory, but in the world of sister wives, where secrecy and power plays dominate, nothing feels impossible anymore. The legacy of the leak with this leak. The legacy of sister wives may never be the same. What was once marketed as a journey of love, faith, and plural marriage now looks like something darker, a tale of contracts, control, and hidden power struggles. Janelle's story is no longer just about leaving Kody. It's about what she endured silently for years, and the courage it took to finally step away. For many fans, the show has shifted from entertainment to a case study in resilience, manipulation, and the cost of freedom. So where does this leave us? Will more pages of the contract surface? Will Janelle or Kody ever publicly confirm or deny its existence? And if they do, how will that reshape not just their story, but the entire sister wives' legacy? One thing is certain, the internet isn't letting this go. The whispers have turned into roars, and now the truth is demanding to be heard. If this contract is as real as it seems, then Janelle's quiet rebellion wasn't just personal. It was revolutionary. She didn't just leave Kody. She broke free from the very chains meant to silence her. And that, my friends, is a story far bigger than reality TV. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe the contract is real? Was Janelle trapped all along? Or is this a carefully crafted internet hoax? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be responding to as many as I can. And if you want to stay updated as more pieces of this story unfold, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because trust me, this isn't the last time we'll be talking about Janelle's secret contract with Kody Brown. The shockwaves after the leak, in the days following the leak, the Sister Wives fandom didn't just react, they mobilized. Petitions began circulating online, demanding that TLC release an official statement. Others called for Janelle to break her silence and confirm the authenticity of the document. Talk shows, entertainment blogs, and podcasts picked up the story, each adding their own spin. Some painted Janelle as a victim, others as a mastermind who may have leaked the contract herself. Either way, the leak had moved from a niche fan scandal to mainstream entertainment headlines. The media storm forced sister wives back into the spotlight in a way that even divorces and family splits hadn't managed. Headlines screamed phrases like reality TV's darkest secret and the contract that could end sister wives forever. For TLC, this was both a nightmare and a goldmine. The network thrived on drama, but the idea that legal manipulation was part of the storyline risked tainting the brand. And yet, the controversy guaranteed viewership. Fans weren't just watching for family drama anymore. They were watching for the truth. Fan conspiracies and wild theories. One of the most popular fan theories is that Janelle wasn't the only wife with a contract. What if Kody drew up similar documents for all the wives at different points in time? This theory suggests that Mary, Christine, and maybe even Robin may have signed agreements tailored to their role in the family. If true, the leak we've seen is just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine the bombshell if multiple contracts eventually surface, revealing a web of legal manipulation spanning decades. Another theory zeroes in on Robin. Fans speculate that her favorite wife status came not just from Kody's affection, but from the absence of a contract. If Janelle and possibly others were legally restricted, Robyn may have been free to act without consequence, making her position in the family even more secure. This imbalance of power could explain why Kody appeared to protect her at all costs. Robyn may not just be his emotional favorite. She may have been the only one he couldn't legally control. Asterisk. And then there's the boldest theory, that Janelle herself leaked the contract. Fans argue that she had nothing left to lose after separating from Kody by letting the public see the document. She not only reclaims her narrative, but also ensures that Kody's reputation never recovers. If true, this move would make Janelle not just a survivor of manipulation, but the architect of Kody's downfall. What happens next? Asterisk. If the contract is authenticated, the legal consequences could be huge. Could Kody face lawsuits for coercion? Could Janelle or the other wives use the contract to negotiate financial compensation? Lawyers are already weighing in, suggesting this document could be used in court to prove manipulation or unfair financial practices. The implications stretch beyond the Brown family. Other reality TV stars in unconventional relationships may face scrutiny. How many of these families are bound not by love, but by paperwork hidden from the cameras? Asterisk. For the Brown children, the leak raises painful questions. If their mother was bound by a secret agreement, what does that say about the foundation of their family life? And for Janelle, her reputation as the calm, practical wife has now transformed into that of a fighter who endured years of silence before finally walking free. Meanwhile, Kody faces his biggest test yet. If fans once saw him as flawed, but human, this leak recasts him as something far darker. A manipulator who turned love into legal contracts. Asterisk. And so, we're left with more questions than answers. How many contracts exist? Who leaked the first one? Will Janelle finally speak? Or will the truth remain in whispers and speculation? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. The contract may have leaked, but the fallout is only beginning. So, tell me, do you think this was Janelle's silent revenge against Kody? Was the leak a cry for justice? Or just another chapter in the endless saga of sister wives? Drop your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Because trust me, the next leak might be even bigger. The internet explodes. If you thought the contract itself was shocking, wait until you hear what fans are saying. The internet has officially turned this leak into the biggest sister-wife scandal in years. Let's dive into some of the most jaw-dropping reactions. Fan tweets asterisk on Twitter. Hashtags like hashtag free Janelle and hashtag KODY exposed have been trending nonstop. Here are just a few of the reactions flooding in. At Reality Queen, this isn't marriage, it's a business contract. Janelle deserves an apology from everyone. At Kody Skeptic, if the contract is real, TLCO's ass answers. They filmed this family for a decade and never said a word. At Sister with a Stan, now it makes sense why Janelle always looked so trapped. She was literally trapped. Some tweets are angry, others are heartbroken, but almost all of them are united in one thing: Kody's reputation is at rock bottom. Reddit reactions asterisk. Meanwhile, Reddit has become ground zero for amateur investigators. One fan wrote, I zoomed in on the contract stamp, and it matches the notary used in Flagstaff round 2015. This could be legit. Another user added, what if Janelle leaked it herself? This is the ultimate clapback. Subtle, devastating, and perfectly timed. And my favorite, forget sister wives, this is turning into sister contracts. Leave it to Reddit to turn a scandal into both an investigation and a meme. TikTok frenzy asterisk. TikTok creators are also cashing in, making viral videos breaking down every clause of the leaked document. Some creators are reading it line by line like courtroom dramas, while others are acting out reenactments of Janelle signing the contract under Kody's watchful eye. One TikTok that went viral with over 3 million views simply said, This isn't Sister Wives anymore. This is Sister Survivors. That single phrase has become a rallying cry across the platform. YouTube comments asterisk, and of course, here on YouTube, the comments are overflowing. Here are some of the ones I pulled directly from my last video. I never doubted Janelle's strength, but this makes her a hero in my eyes. Kody has officially gone from problematic to predatory. I'm watching this show with new eyes now. Every scene feels staged to hide the truth. And honestly, reading your comments has been more revealing than any headline out there. You're piecing together this puzzle in real time. Fans become investigators asterisk. What's fascinating is how fans aren't just reacting, they're investigating. People are digging into old property records, cross-referencing financial filings, and even trying to track down the notary whose stamp appears on the document. It's no longer just a leak, it's a full-blown community investigation, and every fan is a detective. Asterisk. So here's where you come in. I want your reaction. Do you think the internet has uncovered the whole truth? Or are we only scratching the surface? Do you buy the theory that multiple contracts exist? Drop your thoughts below, because in the next episode, I'll be reading your comments, yes, yours, and highlighting the best theories from this amazing community. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell, because the deeper we dig into Janelle's secret contract with Kody, the crazier the story gets. And trust me, this isn't the last we've heard of it. Will TLC address the contract? Asterisk. The million-dollar question. Will TLC ever address this contract? Fans are demanding answers, but the network has a tough choice. If they confirm the leak is real, they risk exposing that parts of Sister Wives were more about legal bindings than spiritual unions. But if they ignore it, they look complicit, like they've been covering up Kody's manipulations for years. Some industry insiders speculate that TLC might try to spin the contract into a storyline for an upcoming tell-all special. Imagine it, Kody confronted on national television. Janelle asked point-blank whether she signed away her freedom. That would be ratings gold. But also the most uncomfortable moment in Sister Wives history. Season 19 speculation asterisk. If Sister Wives returns for Season 19, the leak could completely reshape the narrative. No more focus on family bonding trips or Coyote past dreams. Fans want the truth. Will Janelle openly discuss the contract? Will Christine weigh in, comparing her escape to Janelle's? And will Robin finally break her silence about her unique position in the family? The leaked contract doesn't just change the past, it rewrites the future. Every scene, every confession, every argument will now be seen through the lens of, was this scripted by love or by legal paperwork? The Brown family dynamics going forward asterisk. Kody's reputation has taken hit after hit over the years, but this could be the final blow. Once a controversial figure, he now risks being seen as manipulative, controlling, and legally oppressive. If the contract is real, his attempts to keep the family together at all costs don't look like dedication, they look like control. And for fans, that changes everything. Asterisk. For Christine, this leak validates her decision to leave. For Mary, it could be the missing piece explaining why she always seemed on the outside looking in. And for Robin, the silence grows louder. If she truly never signed a contract, fans will demand to know, why Janelle? Why not her? This imbalance could become the next big storyline, and potentially, the next big fallout. Predictions for the future asterisk. Fans are already predicting how this plays out. Some believe Janelle will break her silence in a tell-all book, revealing everything in her own words. Others think the contract will spark legal battles that spill far beyond reality TV. And a few even speculate that Sister Wives could be cancelled altogether, replaced by spin-offs featuring Janelle or Christine living life on their own terms. Asterisk. Beyond Sister Wives, the leak has started a bigger conversation. How many reality TV families are hiding similar agreements? Could this spark a wave of exposes across the industry, forcing networks to reveal the contracts behind the drama? If so, Janelle's leaked contract won't just change one show. It could change reality TV forever. Asterisk. So what happens next? Will we see Janelle finally speak her truth? Will TLC gamble on turning scandal into storylines? Or will more contracts surface, pulling back the curtain on secrets we can't even imagine yet? This isn't just a leak anymore. It's a ticking time bomb. And the countdown has only just begun. And you better believe, we'll be here to cover every single second of it. Asterisk, now it's your turn. What's your prediction? Will Janelle reveal everything in a tell-all? Will TLC confirm or deny? Or do you think the Brown family is about to collapse under the weight of its own secrets? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications, because the Sister Wives saga is far from over, and the next chapter might be the most explosive yet. The illusion of reality asterisk for years. Sister Wives sold us a story, a family held together by faith, love, and commitment. But what if that was only half the truth? Fans are now asking if the editing room was just as important as the living room in shaping what we saw. Producers decide which arguments make it on screen. They decide which smiles, which tears, which confessions stay, and which are left on the cutting room floor. If a contract existed behind the scenes, it's no surprise we never saw a single hint of it on camera. TLC may not have forged the paperwork, but they sure had the power to bury it under glossy storytelling. Production contracts versus personal contracts asterisk reality TV is built on contracts. Cast members sign production agreements that control everything from how they're paid to what they can say publicly. But if Janelle had an additional personal contract with Kody, then she may have been bound twice. Once by TLC, once by her husband. Imagine trying to tell your story when you're silenced on both fronts. Producers could edit out what didn't fit the narrative, and Kody could waive legal clauses over her if she stepped out of line. For fans, this paints Janelle's calm, careful persona in an entirely new light. Not just personality, but survival. The producer's role asterisk. We've all noticed how Sister Wives storylines often feel staged. The arguments always peak right before commercial breaks. The confessions always circle the same themes: loyalty, jealousy, and unity. But what if producers knew about the contract and intentionally steered storylines to protect Kody, keeping him central to the narrative, painting him as the embattled patriarch, while carefully cutting around the legal power he may have been wielding? Fans are now questioning, did TLC protect the truth or protect Kody? Industry whispers asterisk. Here's the thing, Sister Wives wouldn't be the first reality show accused of hiding the real story. From 90 Day Fiancé to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, fans have long speculated about how much is staged and how much is real. But if Janelle's contract proves authentic, this isn't just about clever editing, it's about hiding legal manipulation behind a family-friendly facade. And that would make this one of the darkest reality TV scandals in history. Non-disclosure agreements, NDA letters, asterisk. Don't forget the role of NDA letters. Every cast member signs them, promising not to reveal behind-the-scenes secrets. This makes fans wonder, how many wives have wanted to speak up but couldn't? NDA letters may explain why, even after leaving Kody, some wives stay vague in their interviews. They may not be free to talk about contracts, money, or manipulation, at least not yet. But leaks bypass NDA letters, and that's why this document is so dangerous. Once it's out in the wild, the truth becomes harder and harder to bury. The narrative we were sold asterisk. Looking back, it's almost eerie. Sister Wives was marketed as a story about love, faith, and unconventional family. But with the leaked contract in mind, the show now feels like a carefully constructed mask. The loyalty storylines, they weren't just about spiritual unity. They mirrored contractual clauses. The financial stress, not just real-life money problems, but possibly fallout from hidden agreements. Janelle's cautious silence, maybe not just patience, but legal restraint. The narrative we bought into for over a decade wasn't just incomplete. It may have been deliberately sanitized. Asterisk. If producers were willing to hide something this big, what else don't we know? How many other reality TV families are smiling on screen while privately signing paperwork that locks them into silence? The sister wives contract leak may have started as a scandal for one family, but it could end as a reckoning for an entire industry. So I'll ask you, is reality TV showing us truth or selling us lies wrapped in contracts and editing tricks? Comment below with your thoughts, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because if more secrets surface, and trust me, they will, you'll hear about it here first.